Hey, what's up everybody? I'm going to do a review here on this video command controller, which is insanely weird for the Atari 2600. Now that I've fixed it, hence the reason it wasn't working wasn't because it was dirty. This thing was defective. And not defective as in broken parts. Well, kinda sort of. It was a wire. Defective as in whoever put this together and wherever it was made. Possibly China, Hong Kong, don't know. Never heard of the company. They didn't tuck all the wires where they were supposed to be tucked in this thing when they put it back together, and one of them was way out of the way, the black one, and the plastic pinched it and separated it to where, disco, not working whatsoever. So, opened it up, resoldered that, worked, but not perfect, as if that's the way it was supposed to work. Pretty crappy, as in I still had to do some tweaking on this to make it better, as the problem I was having, this joystick here, or gigantic thumbstick, was way too sensitive. I mean, you barely tap on it and you'd either be going in the wrong direction or your character would start moving. You cannot hold it really steady. Way too sensitive. So anyways, the way this works, the joystick shaft goes almost to the bottom of the grip, and there's metal plates on it that have 3 prongs, one in the middle, which is the thickest one, and then 2 others that are basically flat that have a little bend in the top, like a bump for contact. And the way it works, as when you move the joystick, that pushes in to where they're all level, and then those contacts hit an octagon shaped metal ring in this to make it work for your movement. So anyways, those middle ones weren't bent out far enough to put enough tension on this, so that's all I did. I opened it up and carefully, and I mean careful, as in if you try and do it fast or too much, you're going to snap it off. Just subtle little tweaks until you get it bent out about halfway more than what it was. So you're putting a lot of tension against that metal ring in there, and then carefully have fun, and just a shitload of fun putting this back together, and hopefully not break the thing in a fit of rage putting it back together. Hence, there's not that many pieces, but man, this thing, you almost need another set of hands just to hold stuff in place while you put the shell together, as soon as you start trying to put the shell together and let go of something, it's going to want to fall apart. Especially this thing, as it wants to tilt up, and what holds it in place is there's a notch in the bottom of it to fit over a piece of plastic. And it just wants to lift off of it, or that metal ring in there wants to lift out, as that's a separate piece. So that made it a little bit better. Definitely is usable now, just more anal retentive than awkward, as you have to hold this straight out in front of you, as in if you move your hand in any direction while you're doing it, you're going to be going in the wrong direction with your character or ship or whatever. Hence, that's what makes having the fire button here better. And then also it's got a little arrow on the front of the triangle to tell you that you're aiming in the right direction. So I just don't like the feel of having to hold perfectly still while I'm doing the joystick. Like to be able to move around with it or whatever comfortably instead of just being frozen. So, cool little gizmo for my Atari. Nice thing to have in the collection, but not one that I'm going to be using. Now on prices, hence anybody that watched that last video and clicked on the link, sorry, my bad. I put the wrong link in and I will change it. I put the link in for the cheaper one, that is the one you don't want, to where you have to push on the joystick to fire. that is the one that's $6.95. This one, it's the one that's $8.95 by itself, or he does have one in the box for $12.95. And for this, if you're a serious collector and you're just going to keep it on display and never use it, get the box. That'll keep it clean and safe. Otherwise, if you're going to try and use it or whatever, get the one loose. This guy's pretty good on having the stuff not be banged up. Pretty much everything I've gotten from this site, man, has been in about as good condition as you're going to find it unless you're wanting mint. I mean, I've been really happy with this site. And for anybody in Arizona, man, he is local. He's out of Phoenix, and he's also a collector himself, so he knows his stuff. And for any of you collectors like me, if you're looking for some joysticks that you may have had as a kid and cannot find anywhere else, check out this guy's site. As in, he must have made some killer freaking scores from other collectors, as he has a lot of different types of joysticks for Atari now. He's got ones that, this I've never seen before, but there was another one very similar to it, but a lot more innovative. And I'd get it if this price wasn't just a little bit too high for me on buying a joystick. It is called the Joystick, made by Datasoft. He wants $23.95 plus shipping and possibly tax if you're out of state. And very similar to this, if you chop off the joystick, as in this, hint hint, is the joystick. There's mercury switches inside of it, so when you tilt it, the ball of mercury rolls, triggers the switch to go in what direction. So it's like motion sensitive. And as far as I'm concerned, I think it was the first of its type. I remember when they came out, and it just didn't go over. And then it may not have been that either. It may be the fact that they fucking have mercury in a thing that children are going to be playing with, as in children break shit. And mercury, bad. Kill, death, die, or teeth rot, insanity, die, or whatever, man. As in, I know all about mercury. I heard about that as soon as I started getting into gold panning when my parents had their campground. As in, that's what made a lot of the gold miners go crazy. And it wasn't just from having it spill out on you and getting on your fingers touching gold, or just outright touching balls of mercury, as in it will absorb into your skin. It was from burning it off of the gold and sniffing the fumes, as in they'd usually use like a spoon or something over a campfire and burn it off, or something similar to that, and they'd be leaning right over it with that fume from the mercury going right up their nose into their mouth, and they'd go crazy, as in just outright too much exposure to it. So that could have been another reason. Other than that, I could see why he's got kind of a high price on this one. They are pretty scarce. I have never seen these anywhere else other than on this site. As in, this guy, man, he's got a lot of connections, and he's got a lot of freaking kick-ass controllers, man, that I would love to have, but just don't want to pay his price. He's got ones that I'm pretty sure were just made in like Europe, UK or whatever, and other countries, and then some that were only made here. One of them I'm very tempted to snag while he's got it complete. As in, anybody's been watching my vids, man, knows I'm a fan of Tron. He's got the Tron joystick for Atari with the 2 games that originally came with it. For like, I think that's like $35 or something, man. It's not bad at all in the price for that one. And that one's getting really scarce. Especially now, since the movie. Everybody's wanting that one that collects games. So, give the site a check out. And I will go ahead and post the link with this video for buying one of these. And if not his site, man, if you can only use like eBay, check eBay. You might be able to find one of these. Just look up Atari joysticks. They occasionally get oddballs, but him, you're knowing that it's been tested and that it works. eBay, I don't know. A lot of them, I would not take their word on the fact that they have plugged it in and tried it. Especially if you like to get stuff from like the Goodwill eBay type site. A lot of that stuff, man, they don't test. Hence, that's where I got my first 6-switch Atari. It looked freaking beautiful, like there'd be nothing wrong with it. Got it home, didn't work, man. Something was fried on it. So, rather get it from somebody that just deals in this. So, see you guys in the next vid. Feel free to comment on this.